Who remembers Fred's M14 stocks, or Fred's military M14 stocks? If you ever did business with Fred's, you have a story. I think we all did. And it was just one of those experiences, almost a rite of passage. So I've laid out my two M14 guns. Standard one here. And my E2, which is actually one I kind of enjoy shooting, which is not something I say frequently when it comes to M1A, M14 types. But this one is fun. I've got two mag pouches. I have a single cell here and a 2-cell. So, I have these out. I just wanted to talk about Fred's. Why not? Today, Fred's is only half open. The owner, who everyone calls Fred, it's not actually his name, that was his dog's name, is semi-retired. He has sold off the majority of his stocks to Treeline. He sold M14 stocks and accessories for over 25 years and still had enough to sell off later. That should tell you how many M14 stocks he had. He bought, I believe the official measurement is a metric shit ton from the government, and was pretty much the go-to place for M14 stocks. He had original ones, walnut, birch. He had E2s, and some even rare ones. He had tons of handguards, mag pouches. It's for E2 slings, regular slings, both with nylon and cotton. Stripper clips, targets, and his prices were very reasonable. Complete M14 stock in usable shape for $25. And typically his stuff would come in as described or in better condition. And even more than that, oftentimes you would order something from him and he would throw some extras in the box. Like, for example, I ordered, I think, 2 ventilated handguards from him, and he sent 4. So what's the problem? Well, there really isn't one if you knew what you were getting yourself in for. Shipping times. Did he take days? No. Did he take weeks? On occasion. Did he take months? Quite frequently. You basically placed your order, and if you didn't get it in 4 or 6 weeks, you might give a call. And then you would be usually told, oh, it's ready for shipping, it'll go out next week. You'd wait next week, and then wait for 6 weeks more and give a call. Don't bother emailing. It was pretty pointless to email. Fred, as we'll call him, is a retired veteran. And it seemed like if you started to really bug him by calling on a daily basis, your order would mysteriously get slower and slower. But if you were pretty chill about it, just calling now and again, saying, hey, just a reminder, no hurry, your order would get out faster, and again, you'd get extra stuff in the box. He didn't respond well to pressure. He certainly was not a subscriber to the customer is always right mentality. It was a different way of doing business, and his customer service was legendary. It would be interesting for some of the people that have only recently gotten into firearms to have dealt with this company. again, not bad. And I don't know of hardly anyone. I don't know of anyone who never got their stuff. It wasn't a rip-off thing. It wasn't a thing. And the thing was, you'd wait and wait and wait, and you might get hot under the collar. But then you'd open the box, and you'd expect a beat-up, chewed-up stock for $25, and you got one that was quite gorgeous. So it's amazing how, when you're happy with the product, all the other stuff gets just kind of whisked away. So I think that's how they stayed in business, because they did deliver eventually. And they delivered very nice stuff. And they had more variety in M14 stocks than anyone else by far. And their prices were lower than anyone else by far. But if you expected to order on a Thursday and it'd be shipped that next Monday or even Friday, yeah, forget about it. And I mention this because, you know, I get a lot of people that'll place an order at, 9 p.m. on a Wednesday night and then seem a little peeved if their order isn't on the mail truck the next, 2 days later on a Friday. I mean, in this Amazon world we live in, I think everyone has started to get a little spoiled, if you know what I mean. And some people throw a fit if their thing's not there in under 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, Fred's hadn't even really looked at your order yet. But man, did they have some nice stocks. And some neat stuff. This stock here actually came from Treeline. It was one of the unissued ones that came out a few years ago. But these came in without any hardware. The hardware on it, the folding front grip, the sling that's on it, the folding butt plate, that all came from Fred's. And it was very reasonably priced. The mag pouches came from Fred's. The dummy selector that I've used on some of mine came from Fred's. He had some really neat stuff. And he still has E2 stocks. I looked before doing this video, but they're pretty expensive. I think he finally realized that they were valuable. Because at one time he had complete stocks with full hardware for like $300. Now they're like $800, but that's just what it is in 2020. He's retired now, so I guess his attitude is if he's going to have to go out to the warehouse and waste his day. And he had a huge warehouse with just pallets upon pallets of stuff. So I kind of get it. It probably took him an assload of time to go dig stuff out. And he probably waited till he had 4 or 5 things that were in the same crate or set of crates. Fred has always been well known in the apple seed thing. He was a big proponent of accuracy shooting. Again, retired military. He also has been known for being a very big adopter and carer for stray animals, namely stray dogs. So, I don't know. I figure anyone who likes animals that much can't be all bad. And honestly, my interactions with him, he was what you'd expect out of an old soldier, but honest enough and not rude or anything, just to the point. He could also go off on storytime tangents a bit. But yeah, it was an experience buying from there. And well, like I said, still the website's up with a few things. They've sold most of their inventory to Treeline, so it's on the way out. Yet one more business from the old days that's going away, and we've seen that a lot lately. But that's just how time progresses. But if you ever bought from them, tell you what, if you ever bought from Fred's, share your Fred's story in the comments. Please do. And if you didn't, read the comments. Again, it wasn't a bad experience, but I recently ordered some die-cast models, that's one of my hobbies, from China. And it was kind of the same thing. they took 4, 6, 8 weeks to get here. And it was kind of that same, well, it'll make it eventually. And to date, they all have. You just don't get in much of a hurry because you'll just drive yourself nuts. But the GI M14 stuff is just so much, in my opinion, nicer, better made than a lot of the modern replica stuff. And the M14, the M1A, it's not my favorite rifle to shoot. Although, like I said, I really do like my E2. Or M14A1, if you will. But they are fun to work on and accessorize. And they definitely have that old school wood and steel vibe going on. And, 7.62 NATO 308 is always a fun round. But yeah, back when these stocks were available, Fred's was the only place to have the metal hardware, and that had to have been in demand. And he did not charge an arm and a leg. And some other stuff, it wasn't even showing on his website, but I just called him and he just found it in the back, like these mag pouches and whatnot. I just told him, hey, I'm looking for this and this. He goes, oh, I think I have some. So he eventually dug it out, and I think I probably ordered from him 3 or 4 times. Usually saving up. I figured if I'm going to do it, at least make it worthwhile and order a few things all together. But yeah, I haven't had any reason to have my M14s out in a while, and I was just thinking about old Fred's, and then the news about him selling most of his inventory to Treeline, who I've also had dealings with, and they've been very positive. So, based on my limited experience with Treeline, it was fine too. So with that, I hope old Fred enjoys his retirement, and maybe one day I'll be able to retire too, because I get it. Sometimes being in customer service can wear on you. Anyone who's ever been a waiter or worked at a fast food job or any kind of thing like that knows exactly what I mean. Even if you love people, there are just those days and those people, and I have no doubt that Fred has had his fair share of them. Based on the whole M14 community, some of those people can be special, let's say. Alrighty, folks, just a fun little video here for you. Any questions or comments, feel free to post them. As always, greatly appreciate you tuning in. This is Misha. Catch you very soon. Next time.